Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Robb here for Southwest Florida Television. I am at the north end of Vanderbilt Beach this morning in North Naples, Florida. Just a little bit south of Del Norwegians Pass State Park. The tide is on its way out. 63 degrees this morning, 63 degrees. Nice little change in our weather. Clear skies here in North Naples. Nice little breeze coming from the northeast. It's going to be picking up as the day progresses. It's going to be getting a bit windier. As you can see, as compared to yesterday morning, the majority of the sandbar is still underwater, but it won't be for long. And it's a little rougher out today than it was yesterday. So I don't know what the sandbar is going to look like as far as sea life goes. Three of our little pelican friends sitting out there. Boy, Roy had a good time yesterday out on the Naples Princess with the Freedom Waters Foundation. He was at home sitting up there on the bow of the boat, eating his turkey sandwich. He was one happy camper in us. I don't know what kind of cookies. They took my cookie away. I left it on the table and they took my cookie away. I don't know what kind of cookies they had, but he said they were awesome. Roy likes his cookies. So a big shout out, a thank you to the Naples Princess for taking all those veterans out, and Freedom Waters for all the wonderful things they do for our veterans. Look them up on Facebook, Freedom Waters Foundation in Naples. Give their Facebook page a like. Show your support by liking their Facebook page. That would be awesome. And of course, if you're a veteran, register with Freedom Waters. They've got some great events. Taking vets out fishing, taking them out on boat rides. And if you want to volunteer, if you're retired and don't have anything to do, you want to volunteer, it's a great place to volunteer. Check out all of those photos of Roy. Share that post. That'd be great. Got a little video I'm gonna edit together for him as well at some point. I'm seeing some of our little fighting conchs crawling around here. There's a little dry land here and some conchs crawling around on the sandbar. See if they're ornery this morning. Sleeping in here. It's breezy and chilly, believe me. It's a bit on the chilly side with that wind. For us Floridians, this guy's sleeping away in there. You see his little eyes there. His little mouth, his eyes on each side of his mouth down there. A little Florida fighting conch. I'm sure we'll see some interesting things out here this morning. Yesterday was unbelievable. Oh yeah, starting to see all the usual suspects, starting to see our cockle shells. Oh man, here's a nice cockle here. This is a spiny cockle. These are so cool. Oh, and a little sea star down here at my feet. Wow. That's a neat. These are such cool shells, the spiny cockles. See all their little ridges and bumps there? He's trying to smile at us. He's trying to open up and smile. Come on, give us a big smile. The spiny cockle. We had one stick its tongue out at us yesterday. All these are live shells, so we don't take them home. We leave them here at the beach. We admire them, take pictures, share them with our friends, but we don't take them home. And here's a little 9-armed sea star. Barely. Barely a 9-arm. But he's alive. He or she. Excuse me. You can see all his little feet on the bottom there. Not very active here in the chilly wind. But you look close, you can see its little feet there. See some of them popping up. The 9-armed sea star. They grow their arms back if one breaks off. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. We used to see these, by the hundreds, if not thousands, crawling along the sandbars. They became kind of scarce after the red tide a few years ago. Now it looks like they're finally starting to make a return. Everything starting to finally make a return. This area here in between the beach and the sandbar, that's where a lot of things get caught up as the tide goes out. Not just on the sandbar itself. Already seeing a lot of fighting conchs, but they're not very active yet. The little Florida fighting conch. You can see him in his shell there, his little foot sticking out there. I saw a huge sea star yesterday, huge 9-armed sea star. A lot of sand dollars, a lot of live sand dollars. Thousands and thousands and thousands of live sand dollars out here. course, the live olive shells crawling around. Haven't seen any olives yet. Right now it's just fighting conchs and cockles. That one little sea star. I'm sure they'll make an appearance here. Boy, lots of fighting conchs. Thanks for tuning in this morning. It's nice having someone walking along with me here, even if it's only virtually. It's nice to have a friend. There's a really nice cockle. Oh, it's got a chip in it. It's gonna say a really nice cockle shell, but when I got it out of the sand, it had a big, I noticed a chip up at the end. Beautiful though, the cockle shells. There's our friend Jan's favorite shell, the cockles. She just can't say that word enough. Cockle, cockle, cockle. Well, there's dry land all the way up to Wiggins Pass, it looks like. Look at that sandbar. Just incredible. Man, has this beach changed. That is Vanderbilt Beach. From where that condo is, down to the end of those condos there. Right there. That's Vanderbilt Beach. Got it all in there. Wiggins Pass over there. Delnor Wiggins Pass State Park. That opens up at 8 a.m. Boy, so many conch shells down here. So many little conchs. Little bumps in the sand. They're all little fighting conch shells. Live fighting conchs. Just waking up. What's down there? Little cockle. Oh, little conch. A little conch just waking up. Beautiful shells. Absolutely gorgeous shells. Look at that. That is a beautiful, beautiful shell. The little baby Florida fighting conch. The light in between the two condos over there. The sun just starting to come up there. You can see the orange glow over here to the left of the buildings. Again, the tide is still going out here. So not as much sandbar exposed as there was yesterday when we were walking along here. But it's starting to happen. It's starting to happen. There's so much area to cover here. There's a cockle sticking its tongue out. There's a cockle with its tongue out, hanging out. He looks thirsty. You see him in there? Must be yawning. Whoops. huge in the water. That's cool. Morning. Hey, baby. Another big cockle shell down here on the beach. What kind of shape is that one in? Not too bad a shape. That's a nice shell there. Somebody looking for a big old cockle shell. At times you see lots of these on the beach. They can be very, very common, very, very popular here. The cockles. And there's a big live one. Look at that. There's a big old live one right here next to it. I love showing these to everybody. Even if you've seen it a million times, I'm sorry. I still love showing you these big cockle shells. I like doing it for Jan. I love showing you when you hold it up on the side. That beautiful pattern. The heart or the angel, depending on what you see, how you interpret it. Just beautiful. See, I definitely can see an angel on this side. The other side, for sure, a big heart. And possibly an angel. But a nice big live cockle shell. We are so blessed. So blessed to have such beauty on our beaches like this. Minutes from my house. How many people can drive less than 10 minutes and see sights like this? Well, I'm not seeing our little olives yet. I'm not seeing all our little olive shells crawling across the sandbar. I wonder if they all got washed out when the tide came in. And the sand dollars. The sand dollars, I think, are just a little further out here. Maybe right out there. I saw so many of those yesterday. It's blowing my mind. And yesterday, I found out finally what those weird looking things were. Remember those two weird looking little things that were crawling around? They were sand fleas, also called mole crabs. Mole crabs. They are funky looking critters. You can go back and check out yesterday's video. I saw one pretty close to the start of yesterday's beach walk. One of those mole crabs, if you want to see what I'm talking about. And I saw another one later on. Also saw a stone crab on the beach. That was a first for me. I've seen dead ones washed up on the beach, but never a live stone crab. Yesterday morning was the first live stone crab I've ever seen on this beach. That was very, very cool. You know what's interesting? I'm standing right where I put that little 9-armed sea star earlier. I was going to show it to you again. And I don't see it anywhere. They move along. They can crawl pretty fast along the bottom. I don't know where it went. I put him in the water right over here. I hope somebody didn't pick it up. People pick them up and then they throw them out into the water, which you might as well just break all their arms off and step on them. I mean, you're not doing them any favors, any of these things, when you pick them up and hurl them out into the water. I don't know where it went. Oh, there it is. It crawled up on the beach. He crawled up on the beach. I'm looking in the water, and he crawled up on the beach. The little baby 9-armed sea star. I am torn. I want to walk out here. This is where I think sea stars would get caught up, is in this area between the sandbar and the beach. I also want to walk out on the sandbar. His little feet moving around. You see his little legs. Sometimes they're going a mile a minute here, but this one's kind of slow. I'm going to put him right out here in the middle of the water here. Hopefully nobody will spot it. The little 9-armed sea star. It's amazing how much warmer the water is than the air. Water is about 80, the air is about probably 65 air temperature. Yesterday we saw a huge 9-armed sea star. That was incredible. One of the largest ones I've seen in a long time. Well, that sandbar is starting to expose itself now. Still not seeing the olive shells like yesterday. Haven't seen any olive shells crawling around. Still a little early as far as the tide goes, I think. Coyotes howling, huh, Daryl? Keep the kitties away from the coyotes. Yeah, it would be awesome if we could see some dolphins. That's why I like going down to the pier. At least we get to see a dolphin or two when we go down to the pier. That kind of helps me with my dolphin withdrawals. I like getting down to the pier now at least once a week. Usually on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Probably go this Saturday. Maybe check out the farmer's market when we're down there. I know Connie went to the farmer's market last Saturday and checked it out. That was their opening day. One. There's the first one. There's the first one this morning. First little olive shell. First little olive shell starting to come out. See, I think what they are is they're buried in the sand. And as soon as the sand starts drying up is when they start popping up and start making their exodus towards the water. There's a little live olive, the first one this morning that I've noticed. See if we get it to come out of its shell. Get the sand off it. Warm it up there. It's a little guy. See if he comes out. Beautiful shell. See if it comes out of its shell here. First you'll see the little eyeballs. I believe that's the eyeballs on the little tubes. Here he comes. Or she, or it. Here it comes. Good morning, Olive. I got a great little video of a bigger one of these crawling around in my hand. Go back and check that out. Get on YouTube and check out the videos. They're a little better quality. Well, there's a little olive slithering around in the palm of my hand. Sorry if it bores you, but it just fascinates me. We went years without seeing these, years after the red tide. So it always excites me to see life out here now. No matter what size, no matter what the critter. To hold it in the palm of my hand like this and share it with virtually anyone in the world, unless of course you're in a communist country. I always wonder if it's tasting the palm of my hand while it's crawling along. If it's, I don't know how they taste things. The little olive. So cool. Well, put it back up on the beach here. Let it do its thing. I'm sure we're going to start seeing them appearing now. I'm sure he won't come off my hand. He's stuck to my hand. There you go. There you go, Olive. Enjoy the rest of your day. Oh, wow. I got me a beautiful souvenir here. Beautiful. Now the trick is not breaking it. Look at that. Look at that sand dollar. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That is a beaut. And obviously that is not alive. After yesterday's beach walk, you should know what a live sand dollar looks like. Well, I think I drilled that into everybody's head yesterday. Into everybody's mind, everybody's brain. This is long gone, this one. When they're white like this. Wow. You have to be careful. I'm going to hold it in my hand. I'll have to be sitting it down every time I pick something else up. Yep, the beach, the sandbar is coming to life now, just as I expected. The little olives. Here's one crawling across the beach right down here. Slowly but surely crawling along the beach. Another one over here. Very distinctive little tracks they leave on the beach. That's a big one. See it down in there? They just kind of bulldoze their way through the sand. Very, very cool. Look for those little trails like that on the sandbar. You'll find an olive shell plowing its way along. Morning. Our old fighting conchs are everywhere as well. It's funny. Yep, the olives are just starting to pop up as I'm walking along. Another one right down here. Just amazing. I love being able to come out here and share this with you guys and gals. Look close here. All that fighting conchs, fighting conch, 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 fighting conch. All alive and crawling around, doing their little fighting conch thing this morning. Coming up out of the sand. Here's one coming up. Here's one just pushing its way up. See if it does it while we're watching. That sand was moving around. He was on his way up. Being awful sluggish this morning. I don't know if it's because of the cooler air temperatures or what. They're just kind of laying around here. I think they're basking. I think they're basking in the sunlight. Taking in the heat. I They definitely aren't moving around very much. Normally you can really get them going when you touch them. All different sizes of them here. Look at all these, see all these little bumps? That's all fighting conchs. All those little bumps. Really, they're much easier to see when they're backlit like that. Just tuning in, we're on Vanderbilt Beach in North Naples, Florida, just south of Del Norwegians Pass State Park. The park is just ahead of me there. Just past that condo is where Del Norwegians Pass State Park begins, where the condos disappear. We're just walking on the sandbar here, walking south on the sandbar. Checking out the beautiful sights, admiring the seashells, the sea life. Beautiful out here. Waiting for the tide to continue going out. Watching the olive shells beginning their crawl along the beach. All the little olive shells starting their crawl. Beautiful little shells, the olives. So plentiful out here, so plentiful. They're just buried just beneath the sand. And as time passes here, they start coming to the surface. You see all these little trails from them on the beach. But don't take them home. Leave them here at the beach. They're alive. Don't take anything that's alive home. I saw people stuffing their buckets and bags with the live sand dollars yesterday. Man, oh man. There's plenty of dead sand dollars out here to take home. I know none of my beach family friends would be taking a live sand dollar home after yesterday's video. Now that you finally know what they look like. But you know what? I'm not seeing those live sand dollars like yesterday. I'm not seeing the little telltale bumps in the sand. The tide's got to go out just a little further, I think. beautiful out here. This is all new. This sandbar, this is all courtesy of Hurricane Ada. All this is new sand that got pushed up a week ago. I see a big olive crawling around. It looks like a big olive. It was actually glistening. I saw the sunlight shining on it. So cool. Well, what are we going to see unusual today? Well, are we going to see anything unusual, really unusual? So far, we've seen a lot of beautiful things. But are we going to see something out of the ordinary? What we're seeing is kind of out of the ordinary already, believe me. This is kind of all new. This is like a whole new beach here. It's very, very cool. And the day before yesterday, even yesterday, I was like a little kid in a candy store walking these sandbars. I wanted to walk, I was going to go down to Clam Pass this morning, but that wind is down coming out of northeast. It'd be a long walk back into the wind. So maybe tomorrow morning I'll make the trek, if it's any warmer, down to Clam Pass and see what it's looking like. There's a little conch crawling around, but nope, he is not gonna come out. A little one, a little fighting conch. They're not wanting to come out and fight yet this morning. You know, if you come across some beautiful sea stars, people call them starfish. If you come across some nice sea stars, just pick them up and set them along the water's edge so other people can see them and enjoy them. Don't go heaving them out into the water. They can survive for quite a long time on dry land. putting them in the water is a good thing. I just place them in the water. I can't stress that enough. Same with sand dollars. I see people throw them like frisbees. I mean, common sense should help you in that department, but some people don't have common sense. Common sense is a thing of the past, I believe. I think common sense went the way of the dinosaurs. Starting to see more and more of the little olive shell trails on the beach now. More and more of them as I'm walking along. I wonder whatever happened to that stone crab yesterday. He's a feisty little guy. I tried moving him. It's the La Playa Beach Hotel, if you're familiar with the area. The La Playa over there on the left sticking up. It is beautiful here. Our beaches are relatively empty. It's awesome down here right now. Plenty of places to stay here. Hotels doing an excellent job of keeping everything clean and sanitized. Same with our restaurants. Plenty of room here on the beach to social distance. I mean, don't worry about 10 feet. You can be 100 yards away from somebody here on the beach. Right now our beaches are really empty. Great place to come and get some fresh air. Instead of sitting in your house locked up. This is great here, getting into a nice sunny spot on the beach. Call these little ripples, I call them sand waves. The little ripples left behind in the sand. Isn't that beautiful? What a pattern. You know, when you toss them like that, it shocks them when they hit the water. When you throw them in the water,
What happened?
it shocks the animal inside when you throw it.
I don't know. I think the shell is too hard.
Nope. You're not really helping them out. Just trying to educate somebody walking along the beach, throwing heaving conch shells into the water. Some people just don't want to listen either. She didn't want to listen. She said, oh no, their shells are too hard. So there's the common sense factor. Think about if somebody picked you up and just tossed you out. If you were just kind of sleeping on the beach, somebody grabbed her and threw you out in the water. How would you feel? It's bad enough we pick them up and look at them. That freaks them out. Just be gentle. Be gentle with everything. No reason to be a bully. You know, think about it. We were out here yesterday, and we saw all the conchs, the fighting conchs, all the sand dollars, all the olive shells. We didn't go around picking them all up and putting them back in the water. And guess what? Here they are again today. See them down here crawling around? They're here today. They survived just fine. No reason to be doing that. Yeah, this is part of Mother Nature. This is one of the reasons our planet is the way it is. It's because we interfere with Mother Nature. I mean, yeah, it's people trying to do a good thing, but Mother Nature has it all figured out. Just like us. Everything has a life cycle. And when you start screwing around with that life cycle, is when things start getting screwed up. What on earth would we do if they ever discovered the secret to eternal life? What would we do if we lived forever? Where would we go? Where would we live? Think about that, man, oh man. Eternal life. I know where my eternal life is going to be spent. I hope you know as well. We're just down here on this planet for a little journey. Just a little journey. A very short journey compared to what's in store for us. Oh, that's cool, Sherry. Sherry. Yesterday's beach walk was awesome. You know, I think since the waves picked up a little bit here, I think what's happened with a lot of those sand dollars, either there's a good chance they're all just buried in the sand here along the edge of the water. But I think we were actually noticing towards the end of my walk, you could see them starting to get pulled back out into the water. I think as that tide came up and that undertow came in, it pulled all those little sand dollars back out into the water. But I'm sure there's tons of them still buried right in along here where the waves are breaking. The tide's still a little higher than yesterday morning. I'm kind of digging around with my toes in the sand. I'm not finding anything. Yesterday it was easy. We could see all the little bumps in the sand where the sand dollars were. I really want to get down to Clam Pass. I want to see what happened to Clam Pass after Hurricane Ada passed by us here. And I want to see what's on that sandbar down there. So maybe tomorrow, if the wind isn't up and if the temperature's just a little warmer, it's really getting nice now, but I just don't want to walk. Oh, wow. Somebody found a nice sea star here. Somebody found a nice sea star. And I'm going to guess, oh man, another one. They found another one over here. Big ones. There were some big ones here. I wonder if they set them out in the water over here. I sure hope they didn't take them home. I hope they didn't take them as souvenirs. I don't see them in the water here. So you get out here early or you're not going to see things like this because all the do-gooders, for lack of a better term, pick everything up and put it out in the water. So here's a little baby 9-arm, but nothing like those two that were up on the beach. I wish we could find them. Here's another little baby 9-arm sea star. This one, I thought I saw a little crawl track from the beach. This guy's alive. But man, I wish I could find those big ones. I hope somebody didn't take them home. Here, this guy's pretty active. You can really see his little feet wiggling around. See his legs, his arms moving, his little feet underneath there wiggling around. Little baby 9-arm sea star. Well, look over in the water. If the person did the right thing, they would have, if they wanted to put it in the water, they would have picked it up from over here. You can see that's a good size one. Look at that sand dollar I found earlier. You can see that's a big sea star. They would have walked it out into the water. But I'm guessing they might have thrown it out if it was that person we saw earlier. She probably flung it out like a frisbee. Broke a couple of its arms off in flight. Knocked the thing unconscious when it hit the water. Darn, I'd have loved to have seen that. Loved to have seen that. 2 of them. There was 2 of them here. The other one, here's the imprint in the sand where it was. Beautiful. But nowhere to be seen. Gosh darn it. Hunt for the sea star. Well, it's nice to know they're out here. That's a good thing. I sure love seeing them. I love seeing them. I love sharing them with my friends. Wind is really starting to pick up. I'm glad I'm walking south and not north. This is right around where we saw that stone crab yesterday. Ooh, nice. Another little sea star. I'm loving it. They're all beat up. I'm guessing that hurricane did a number on them. There's another little 9-armor. This is about an 8-armor. An 8 and a 10th. Woo, this one's really going to town. Look at those little feet. Look at those little feet moving. This guy's really active. There's a good look at its little feet. Be careful. Hold them. The closer you hold them into their body, the better. center. I don't know if I'd call it a body. Hey, I got a friend of mine's going in for a knee replacement today. My friend Brad Baker. He's a little anxious. You know, there's no such thing as routine surgery, even if they call it routine. There's always a little mystery there, a little chance of the unknown. Think about my friend Brad today. Hope he recovers quickly. It's been a long, long time coming. He could barely walk. It is beautiful out here. Look at that blue sky. Beautiful blue sky. Another little olive shell crawling around. These are so cool. This is a nice size olive. This is a really nice size one here. See if it comes out of its shell for us. Usually doesn't take them long if they're going to come out. This is a beautiful shell right here. See if it comes out and makes an appearance. Yep, here it comes. Beautiful. Look at that. That's a big one. That is so cool. No, it's not saying put me in the water, unfortunately. Those are neat, aren't they? The beautiful olive shell. That is so cool. That thing is huge. So many of them out here too, and sadly I see people picking them up and putting them in bags. Bags and buckets. He's really coming out there. So neat. All right, bud. Don't you just crawl back along the beach here. Look at him. He's just actually out on my finger. So cool. He's just gonna scoot along the beach there. So neat. There he goes. There he goes. There's hundreds and hundreds of them out here this morning again. Fighting conchs are getting a little more active now. I see them rolling around. Starting to see the little guys, the little ones coming out and rolling around. There's 3 or 4 of them right down here. There's a little guy right there. All fighting conchs, all these little bumps, little fighting conchs. Some of them not so little, some bigger ones. Haven't seen any cockle shells down this end here. We saw some up to the north this morning, the live cockles. Really love to see some of those live moon shells. Man. Saw those down towards Clam Pass last week. There's a little live cockle. There's a little live one. Cute little cockle shell. Had one stick its tongue out at us this morning. There's a little baby. Beautiful. Beautiful little shells. You can still see the little heart, the little angel on it, even though it's a tiny one. Little baby cockle. That's a cockle shell.
Cockle shell.
Yep, cockle.
But they're in abundance here.
Yep, all along
Can we
here.
eat them, or somebody eats them?
I don't know. I think some people eat them. I think so.
Saw before.
Yeah.
With their finger.
And there's
Going up,
there's some big ones too.
Yeah. Like I said, not to toss them, so I'm gonna lay them on the
Nice.
water.
Yeah. It's like it shocks them. You know, it's like a big surprise when they hit the water because they're sleeping, and you're waking them up. There you go. Okay. Okay. Lesson learned. I love it. Now, where are those gold bars that Roy said we're going to be washing up on the beach? That's what I really want to find. That treasure chest full of gold and jewels. There's an empty little Venus sunray shell. It's not a gold bar. I'll keep that little shell. That's a beauty. A little tiny chip in it. The Venus sunray. I gotta get that sand dollar out of my pocket. Those things are so darn fragile. I have broken so many in my pockets. Roy and I might go up to Del Norwiggins. Let's see here. See how the morning progresses. See what that beach looks like with their sandbar. There's another little sea star. See, this guy's crawling around up on the beach, making his way down towards the water. So what we're going to do is just pick him up and sit him in the little shallow tide pool over here. Looks like this one might have all his little legs. Nope. Missing half. Missing half of one of his little arms. The little 9-armed sea star, the 8.5-armed sea star. We'll put him over here where the water's calmer. Yeah, he'll be just fine. He'll crawl around here, maybe bury himself down in the sand. The little 9-armed sea star. We've seen several of these this morning. Yep. Trying to help you out there, bud. Flip you right side up. Love to see a bigger one. Love to find a bigger one crawling around. Yesterday, huge 9-armed sea star yesterday. Go check yesterday's video out. Very cool things. The stone crab, the big sea star, those big mole crabs, all of the sand dollars, just incredible. The sand dollars on the beach yesterday. Watch yesterday's video. Watch it on YouTube. Share it. Will they dredge the sand back? I'm not sure what you're asking. No, they wouldn't. I'm not quite sure what you mean, dredge the sand back. And I don't have an answer to that. I think the dredging is foolish. It never does anything. They dredge, and 2 years later they're dredging again. You can't fight Mother Nature. You can't fight her. She's gonna win no matter what you do. There's no reason to dredge here. If you're asking about dredging here, no, I don't think they'd dredge along a beach. But you never know what our county will do if they can make money off it or put a relative in business doing it. There's a big live cockle. I think it's a live, oh no. This is a live cockle that somehow got crushed. Somehow this shell got crushed. Probably by somebody throwing it out somewhere. This is a beautiful live cockle shell whose shell has just been destroyed. Can't imagine what would bust a shell up like that. A dolphin or something maybe trying to eat it? Who knows? There is a cockle in there. I swear to you, there is an animal in there. It looks like it's still alive. What a shame, huh? Never saw a busted up cockle like that. Oh man, I can smell some bacon coming out of the La Playa Hotel. I can smell that bacon. Coming out of the kitchen. Smells yummy. Smells delicious. It's torturing me. Torturing me. Mike Cooper, get down here with some bacon. Yeah, we were talking about dredging earlier. Think about what that does. All these shells and things that we're seeing as we're walking the beach, all these live critters crawling around. Think what dredging does. I mean, it's like a big vacuum. They just suck everything up from the floor of the pass or out along the beach. They just suck everything up, all the shells, everything that's alive. I mean, it's horrible. Horrible what it does to the marine life. Also, we can just have a little more sand on our beach. That That's the La Playa right there. That's where that smell of that bacon's coming from. The kitchen there at the La Playa. Shame on them for doing that to me. All right, starting to see the couple little sand dollar bumps here in the sand. Not a whole lot. I just saw a couple, that was it. Any over here? Nope, some rocks. Looking for some of those little live sand dollars. I'm guessing they're just buried here in the sand. Yesterday, you had to be careful where you walked. There were so many of them. The beach was just covered in them. Covered in little sand dollars, live sand dollars. The other thing about if you walk south from down the beach, down along Pelican Bay, that's less traversed by people. There's less people down there, so the odds of finding something interesting are a little better. A lot more people walk to the north here along Vanderbilt Beach. So your odds of seeing something cool go way down, especially the later it gets in the day. Vanderbilt Beach. Hey, if you enjoy our time together, if you enjoy these morning beach walks and you want to see them continue, there's two things that are really important here. One is your friendship, Your friendship is very important. And 2, your financial support. Nobody pays me to come out here and do these morning live feeds. So if you like them, if you learn something, if you've made some new friends, think about becoming a regular monthly supporter of Southwest Florida Television. Or send some stars. You can send some stars. Both of those are done through Facebook. The stars, you purchase the stars through Facebook. You should see a button there to become a supporter, a little tab. Or, if you look in the description of this post, you'll find a link to my PayPal account. You can send a little tip, a thank you, a token of appreciation to my PayPal account. It's pretty simple to do. PayPal takes a tiny, tiny percentage, whereas Facebook takes a huge percentage. Over 40%. Over 40% Facebook takes. So if you want to send a little something, the most effective way is through my PayPal account. But whatever. And if times are tough, they're tough. We all are going through tough times. I understand. Thank you for your friendship. Share. That's one of the biggest things you can do to help spread the word about Southwest Florida Television is to share. Share my photos, share my videos, share my page. Invite your friends to tag along with us in the morning. It's a great way to start your day. Get away from the news media for a little while. That sky is incredible this morning. Still seeing our little olive shell friends, our little olives crawling around. Not as many as yesterday. There's one crawling around down there. A little one, a little live olive. So cool. So neat when they come out and crawl around in your hand. I haven't seen a lot of birds out here. I have not seen a whole lot of birds. Or big flocks of ibises and little snowy egrets. Willet birds, seagulls. Just seen a couple birds here and there, a couple of our little shorebird friends. Starting to dry up over here in between the sandbar and the actual beach itself. More of what I call the little sand waves, the little ripples in the sand. I just think they are so neat. It's like a big cockle over here on the beach. Big cockle way up here on the beach. You can see him in his shell there. That's a big one. Get a good look at him inside there. I read people eat these, the cockle shells. I read somewhere over in, I think in England or something. I don't know. Somewhere, some country, they love these cockles. That's a big one. That's a big cockle. I'm just gonna sit him in the water down here. Let him do his cockle thing. Cockle on. Good morning. What's that? Mole crabs. Mole crab, yep. Weird looking. They are weird looking, aren't they? Those weird looking things I found on the sandbar yesterday, mole crabs. They were funky looking. They look like creatures from some other world. Something from a science fiction movie. That wind is brisk. Brisk, brisk. Nice. Very nice. Well, it's been another great morning here. Another fun morning. Like I said, ooh, there's a little scallop. A little scallop shell. I've been wanting to add some more scallops to my... darn it. Chipped. Darn it, I've been wanting to add some more scallops to my collection. This one's chipped up. Boogers. Boogers, boogers, boogers. Yeah. Well, anyways, we had a good morning. As I said earlier, maybe tomorrow morning, weather conditions, if they're right, I'll take a walk down to the south there, down towards those condos, down towards Clam Pass. And see what's waiting for us on the sandbar tomorrow morning. Remember, high tide gets a little later and later each morning. But that's a little less traveled down in that direction, just because it's a farther walk. So maybe we'll have a little more luck finding maybe some of those moon shells and maybe some more sea stars. Maybe even a dolphin will come out for us. Maybe a dolphin will swim by. Maybe it'll calm down a little bit. There's a little spiny jewel box. A little spiny jewel box with a couple of one of its little horns there, its little spines. Nothing like that live one I found down by the pier. That was an incredible find. That was an incredible jewel box. You can see photos of that if you scroll through my posts. That was an incredible find. This one looks like more like a... kind of looks like a horseshoe crab kind of looks like a horseshoe crab, doesn't it? With a little tail sticking up. A little jewel box shell. No idea why they call them jewel boxes. Our friend Barbara Grove, the shell lady, she said, well, look at it. It looks like a jewel box. Well, it doesn't look like any jewel box I've ever seen. But I'll take her word for it. Little seagulls. I don't know if they peck at the shells, if they eat the conchs or what. Or the little cockles if they're open. Everything's got to eat. Alrighty, I'm going to call it a morning here at Vanderbilt. I think I'll go up to Wiggins for a little while this morning. Take a Roy up there. Take a little stroll along the beach at Delnor Wiggins. Thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you shortly. If not, have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. Happy hump day. Behave yourself. Stay safe. Tell your friends about Southwest Florida Television. Thank you for your friendship and your financial support. Those of you that sent stars this morning, thank you. Those of you that sent something to my PayPal account, thank you very, very much. And those of you that are regular monthly supporters, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tally ho, everyone, tally ho. For Southwest Florida Television, I'm Robb Stan. God bless. See you later, Barbara. Tally ho, Jackie. Tally ho, Connie.